So we've got some big news to share today with the Zion community. We are introducing officially our Impact Eternity campaign. This is something that has been brewing really for close to a year now. Initially, we were thinking about calling this just the Impact Campaign. We actually changed the title to Impact Eternity because of what we're really trying to do, which is not just impact the physical campus and what that entails for Zion Christian Academy, but the reality is it's a connection to our spiritual roots, what we're trying to do as a Christian school, and in fact has an eternal value to our students and our families. So I'm excited to introduce the Impact Eternity campaign and talk a little bit about what that means.
What we're doing in order to grow and really grow the impact of what Zion's doing here in the community is exciting. It excites me beyond my own children and our immediate family, and really about the lasting impact that Zion can have here in Maury County.
If you think about the history of Zion Christian Academy, we're almost 50 years old. Much of this is really about setting the stage for the next 50 years. What is Zion Christian Academy going to be as we try and fulfill what God has called for ZCA here in Maury County? We want to make ZCA as accessible to as many families as possible. We want them to have access to a Christian education for their children. When the church, the home, and the school are working together, that provides the best education for our children. We always want to make sure that we have fidelity to our Christian mission. That is, we are a Christian school. So we want to, when we think about Impact Eternity, we want to make sure that we've got programming that supports that. Zion's been working on a strategic plan now for the last 18 months. We've identified a number of 3-year goals that Impact Eternity is setting us on the course to meet. Some of that involves making sure that we're addressing our teachers, having excellent teachers, and we're able to satisfy their needs as professional educators. Part of that also has to do, and part of the reason why we're even meeting in this format, is to improve our communication, make sure our families know what's happening at Zion Christian Academy, because we love sharing this good news. Zion Christian Academy certainly has something that we want to offer to as many families as we can, and that's a high-quality Christian education. So part of Impact Eternity involves expanding the campus, adding classrooms, adding spaces. We also want to make sure that we're hitting our athletics and arts, 2 critical pieces for what we want to do for our students, having well-rounded students. So this involves additional gym, it involves a performing arts center, it involves cafeteria spaces that will free up the current gym from all of its multi-purpose use moving forward. All of the development that's going to take place in the future will be at the upper school property. So as we continue to add buildings and spaces for academics and co-curricular opportunities, all of that development will take place at the upper school property.
Rick, there's a real buzz in the ZCA community about the church and the church's relationship with the school. There's a long-standing, healthy history with the church who established ZCA years ago. And there is a bit of a buzz in the community about maybe that changing. What can you share on that?
So Zion Christian Academy is in the process of becoming an independent school, that is, becoming independent from Zion Presbyterian Church. I say that softly only to recognize the importance that Zion Presbyterian Church played in the establishment of ZCA. ZCA owes its existence to the forethought and risks taken by Zion Presbyterian Church when they chose to establish a Christian school in Maury County. Both ministries, that is the church and the school, continue to evolve and grow and develop. And we came to a point where the church leadership, the school leadership thought it would be in the best interest for both entities to fully flourish and achieve their missions for the school to become independent. I want to be clear that this doesn't mean there's ill feelings or ill will between the church and the school. We're going to continue to exist in our current location, certainly for the foreseeable future. It does allow the school to move into a more non-denominational Christian school environment, allowing the school to focus on a few things spiritually that we want to be able to focus on. There is still some work to be done, and this is a process that's ongoing. I can share that there is a new entity called the Zion Education Corporation that has been approved by the state of Tennessee.
and a lot of really smart and dedicated professionals are trying to push this forward. Sometimes things just take the time that they take in order to accomplish them in the proper way. And that can seem long or short, depending on your perspective as an outsider. But what's your perspective on that in terms of there's a temptation to borrow trouble and there must be something wrong because we haven't heard details on this?
I can say that the church leadership is fully on board with this process and making sure that it gets completed. The school board that I work with regularly, fully on board and understands what's at stake as it relates to this process. And so, yes, this is something that's taking some time and will continue to take some time until all of the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, but it is moving forward.
And I can tell you as a parent, I do take comfort in those I's being dotted and those T's being crossed.
The idea of the school becoming independent, not being connected to a historically rooted, biblically grounded church is, well, is the school going to potentially drift? What does this mean as it relates to being a Christian school? Are we just going to become a private school? I am happy to say that through the leadership of Kent and others on the school board and on the executive leadership team, and even the conversations with the church leadership, we're committed to maintaining fidelity to having a strong statement of faith that clearly articulates and identifies who Zion Christian Academy is as a Christian school.
Today was just the introduction of Impact Eternity. There's going to be a lot of questions. There's going to be a lot of discussion. There's going to be a lot of celebration surrounding this. This is just the first announcement. If you have any questions, who should they reach out to, Rick?
People can reach out to me at any point if they need a little bit more information or would like to learn a little bit more about Impact Eternity or what's happening with the church and the school. They can contact my office at any point, and I'm happy to arrange a time to meet.
What's the biggest thing in your mind that right now people can be doing to prepare for Impact Eternity?
I would certainly ask for everyone in the community to submit this to prayer. We're simply the means that God has put in place at Zion Christian Academy for this time. Just ask the Lord for His blessing, that we would have exercise great wisdom and care for what we have here at Zion Christian Academy, and that He will, in His perfect timing, provide the resources that Zion needs to fulfill the Impact Eternity campaign and ultimately our full strategic plan.
I couldn't agree more. We ask for your prayers for God's blessing on this entire campaign.